Today in higher learning, last week, President Obama made news with his decision to appoint a director for the new Consumer Financial Protection Bureau without the approval of the U.S. Senate. Republican senators criticized the move as an abuse of power, but consumer and student advocates have applauded the action as a necessary step to get the agency up and running. Here to talk about the new agency and what it means for students is Peter Kerwin from the Rhode Island Higher Education Assistance Authority. Good to see you again, Peter.
Good to see you too, Michaela.
All right, now, there was so much talk about this last week, but what does this mean for Rhode Island?
Well, I think it's good news overall for consumers and especially for students who are borrowing money to go to college. I mean, just by way of background, the House and Senate passed this Consumer Financial Protection Bureau back in 2010 as part of the Dodd-Frank financial reform that came out of the 2008 financial crisis. I mean, the House and Senate passed the bill. But what they realized was Senate Republicans who didn't really support it figured out that they could stop it in its tracks because the law was written in a way that if the agency didn't have a director, it couldn't really function. So they decided, we're just not going to approve anybody for this position. And Obama, I think, the White House finally got to a point where they said, you know, the anti-Wall Street sentiment that's out there, the way the economy's going, I think they decided we've got to do something about this. And that's why they made the move to make that critical recess appointment.
Now, how about the students? We want to know if they're going to benefit from this. Is there an immediate benefit for them? I mean, what are they going to see from this?
I think what's going to happen is right off the bat, they're going to start going after some of the predatory lending practices out there. The nonprofit schools, the nonprofit colleges and some of the other institutions out there. So, I mean, one of the things they want to look at, too, is just what's happening in terms of credit card debt. That's a real problem. I mean, kids are getting hit hard by that. But also for students who are borrowing with private money. You know, they want to put an end to that. They want to stop some of the practices that are really disrupting students' lives. I mean, we're out there telling people all the time, but, you know, use your federal loans, borrow money from the feds, max out on that, because that's the best deal for consumers overall. The problem is that there are a lot of private lenders out there who are kind of luring students in with maybe a better interest rate, but they don't have the consumer-friendly provisions and generous repayment plans that those federal loans have. So I think the Consumer Bureau wants to look at what are some of the practices out there. Let's figure out if people are being misled, and let's try to put an end to that if we can.
All right, we'll see if that'll happen. Peter, thank you so much for joining us this morning. As always, for more information from College Bound Fun, you can head to WPRI.com.